Do you want to guess? They're running the Bell Center, which is same arena that WWE ran for Elimination Chamber this past year. My man, my good friend, do you want to guess what their ticket sales for this show look like? For context, this arena fits about, like, for hockey, I think like 14,000.
14. 3.
You almost got it exactly right. For Collision, 3,259.
That's not good.
Do you want to take a gander, a guess for the Dynamite ticket sales for this show?
Is that the same arena?
It is. It's the same arena, just the next night, because like one of the reasons that AEW likes to run, these Canada shows back-to-back nights is just because it's easier and cheaper for talent.
I'll say 6.
Oh, you are you look at you. I'm so glad that you're like you're like optimistic. It's so nice to have someone who's like very like, who's got like the optimism that you have. But no, my good friend, it is not at 6,000. Like, come on, that would require selling tickets. They're sitting pretty at about like 4,000 something, I think, right now.
Yeah, only two away.
Look, you were only one collision, one full collision show away from guessing the attendance, which is a wild statement to make.
That is crazy, though. I don't think we've actually really talked about this. Do you know the reason for their fail in ticket sales?
Do I know?
Has there been it's talked about or mentioned before? The drop off.
I would say again. I think that trying to think of like trying to word my answer here. Good. I would say that the reason that AEW is struggling, in my opinion, to sell tickets to their weekly television shows is because they don't build their TV shows up as well as they used to. It was a lot easier, I think, to do so when it was just Dynamite, or even when it was just Dynamite and Rampage, because it's one taping. Right. When you add Collision, it's a good thing for you money-wise because you're getting a whole bunch more money from that TV rights revenue. But at the same time, what you're doing is you're essentially splitting your houses when you're running like that. So that's going to eat away at your business to an extent, especially since AEW is a newer company. I also think,
but I believe CM Punk was a big reason for that too.
I think CM Punk in specific markets was a big reason for the drop off. When you lose a big star like that and you lose momentum, I think that's the other thing. AEW lost a lot of momentum. It wasn't just Punk. We've had Bryan get injured. We've had Mox out for a little bit. We've had
MJF is hurt now.
Like there's been a lot happening. Like MJF is hurt right now. Exactly. So
I'm actually scared for them. I really am.
In what way?
Well, I mean, like you said before, like it's probably silly to even think that they would like go out of business so quickly. But because, I mean, Tony Khan has money for days. He'll do what he has to do to keep it afloat.
Yeah.
And there is a big enough market to keep it afloat. It's just not as big a market as it was before, which I think happens, honestly. I think WWE has had issues before too.
Yeah, I mean, 2019, bro, they were doing terrible business as far as live events, and their weekly shows. Like they were not drawing good houses.
No, not at all. I mean, maybe this is their the senior year, sophomore slump. What year is this for them?
Like this is their 5th year in college.
But yeah, I mean, it unfortunately it's something that does happen. But now it's time to do it's time to recuperate, time to figure out what we can do, what they can do to make it, to boost it up.
On top of everything else you and I have talked about, I also think that it's part of it is I don't think they have a good marketing game for locally.
No, yeah, at all. I don't think so.
Because it used to be, right, when AEW was coming to town, about it. And they were everywhere. You remember when Dynamite was coming to DC for the first time? And obviously it's like their first big show. They were going to put a lot of promotion behind
they sold that arena.
Bro, every day I'm going to the Metro, I see like AEW Dynamite on there.
Everywhere, dude. Like, for the past like 3-4 years, all you saw is AEW this, AEW that. Like, you don't see it anymore though.
Yeah, and I think maybe like I don't know like what that is, like, because if you even look at we've talked about this before, look at Arthur Ashe. Tickets for that show this year were not selling well. Part of that is because tickets were also very expensive. That's another issue that I think AEW has.
Mm-hmm.
They start their tickets off at such a high price, and then nobody buys them. And by the time they lower them down, like
no one's interested anymore.
Like no one's gonna make a last minute trip out to go see that. Because I'll tell you this, Trev. Like I bought a lot of wrestling tickets this year. You know what my trick is to buying wrestling tickets for all you fans out there? Don't buy them until the day of.
Yep.
Don't buy them until the day of, because that's when they're going to be at the
I'm actually thinking about getting Arthur Ashe tickets, actually.
Oh, you mean Wembley?
Yeah.
Wembley or Arthur Ashe? There's two stadiums.
Two stadiums. I said Arthur Ashe, yeah. Because Wembley's in England. Where's
England?
Oh, yeah. And Arthur Ashe is in Norwich. When I drink my water.
I drink my water. There goes the UK audience. There goes Liam. Actually, no, Liam's Scottish.
Yeah, was it Liam's Scottish?
Scottish. Let me not. Drew McIntyre. Big shout out to. Big shout out to Liam.
There goes our Scottish viewing audience. You know what I've noticed? We must have loyal fans, because we have literally in almost embarrassed and talked about every race and culture I know of.
That's the beauty of wrestling. It does kind of bring everyone together in a weird way, doesn't it? But speaking of Wembley, look, bad news for AEW. We talked about that. There's a little bit of good news here. Trevor, I want you to guess, how many tickets have they sold for Wembley in their first week?
33?
There has been an update, I think, since I sent you those latest numbers. But yeah, basically in that ballpark. 36,000 tickets sold. Okay. And this show, mind you, is in August of 2024. Trevor, what do you think about this news? Like, is AEW are they selling well?
I mean, is AEW doing well? Probably. We just sit there talking about they might be in the
one
shitter.
segment, bury them. They're going out of business. The next segment, hey, look at this. Business is great.
Hey, good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, it's just so funny because, like you said, it's just so up and down, night and day sometimes. But no, they're still in the fight. They still are a good company. They just got to figure out what's going wrong.
For sure. And just like my thinking about it, like, people were always wondering, like, what's a good number for AEW to do for Wembley next year? And my thinking was, if they sell, like, they're never going to do, like, the 80,000. They're not going to, unless, like, they would have to have, like, a massive, like, Becky Lynch would have to, like, sign Drew McIntyre. They would have to, like, do great in free agency. But, like, doing 80,000 isn't, like, a realistic goal again. But I mean,
because that was history making. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's like something you could do once in a lifetime. But I was all like, if they're able to hit 50,000 tickets sold, that's a success. Like, no, if you're a company, WWE or otherwise, and you sell 50,000 tickets, that is a raging success.
Exactly. I mean, and they're 36 now. I mean, just 2 hours ago they were 33. They're 36 now. So like, it's possible that they hit 50.